Hey guys and gals, and welcome to Why I Love Dead by Daylight. Now, of course, if you're new or not to the channel, you can just see by looking at my channel, I play Dead by Daylight quite a bit. And so welcome to Why I Love Dead by Daylight. So let's go ahead and get into that. So first up, you have the survival aspect of it. Now, of course, this is coming from a survivor main, and I pretty much only play as survivor. Occasionally, I will play as killer, but mostly as a survivor. And I just think it's very fun, and it's just challenging because will you survive? You know, it just depends on the match. Because I doubt, I know there's really good players out there, but, you know, for most people, it's, you know, hit or miss. Some matches you'll get out easy peasy, lemon squeezy, McBreezy. Other times it could be really challenging and you just die right away, because I've had both those things happen. I'm not the greatest player out there. I'd say I'm probably about average, maybe slightly above average, but that's the interesting aspect of it is will you survive? And then depending on your personality, will you help others survive? Are you a selfish player and you're just, you know, out for yourself, just going to try to get gens on your own and look out for yourself? Or will you be a good teammate and, of course, help others, you know, unhook them, help them with gens, heal, etc. Next up, you have the strategy aspect of it, which I am a huge strategy person. I love strategy games, whether that be, of course, video games, board games, just really anything, just apps on your phone. I don't care. Regardless, I'm a huge fan of strategy. And, of course, you have to choose your game plan. You know, what type of player do you want to be? Do you want to focus on getting the gens? Do you want to focus on helping your teammates survive? Do you just want to focus on finding stuff or just try to mess with the killer? There's so many different things you can do. In my experience, I focus on the gens usually, but lately I've been trying to get better at being a better teammate because I have been selfish for a while and I've tried to get better at being a better teammate. And of course, you can choose your own build, duh. You get 4 perks, and then same thing, it's like, what game plan do you want? Do you want to be like a healer? Do you want to be an innovator? Do you want to be somebody who works on gens? Any of that stuff. In my case, I'm more of a healer, so majority of my perks usually deal with healing. I think right now the only one that isn't healing is oh crap, now I'm blanking on it. Iron Will. Of course, that's when you're quiet, when you're injured, as long as you get it to level 3. But other than that, the rest of them are healing related. And then, yeah, just find what fits you most. I've found, I don't know why, I've just found that this fits the best for me, the setup that I have right now. Because currently, or if I'm playing as Leon, usually I run Bite the Bullet, Self-Care, Iron Will, and Will Make It. Those are the 4 that I'm currently running at this time. Now, I can switch them at any time, obviously, but as of right now, that's what I run. And, of course, it's mostly healing. The only thing that's not is Iron Will, which that is very, very useful. Next up, you have the pop culture aspect of it. Of course, this is a very popular game, and it features many survivors and killers from pop culture. And, of course, includes many horror franchises, and that includes, but not limited to, Halloween, Scream, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Stranger Things, Nightmare on Elm Street, Saw, Resident Evil, etc., just more and more. Some of them, I think, are originals, but they do have a good chunk of characters from pop culture. So, of course, Halloween, you have Michael Myers, Laurie Strode. Scream, you have Ghostface. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you have Bubba, or Leatherface, but everyone just calls him Bubba. Stranger Things, you have the Demogorgon, and the 2 characters from that, I'm blanking on their names, Nightmare on Elm Street. Of course, you have Freddy. Saw, you have the Pig, and Detective Tapp. Resident Evil, you have Claire and Leon, plus Nemesis, and, of course, many more, which is a very cool aspect. I think that's what made this game grow over the years, is adding all these pop culture elements to it. Next up, you have competitive. Now, of course, personally, I am a very competitive person, and when it comes to gaming, sports, whatever, it's like I am a competitive person. So with me, when things go good, I'm happy, obviously, because who wouldn't be? But of course, when things go bad, I'm mad. So occasionally, you'll see in my videos that if I get upset, then I kind of rage a little bit. Sometimes I may sound salty. I will agree with that, but for the most part, I just try to have fun. But of course, since I am a competitive person, sometimes I will get a little upset. But with that, you can figure out how to improve, you know? You get knocked down, you just get massacred in a match and whatnot. You just got to figure out, you know, okay, what can I do to improve? Do I just need to find some different perks? Do I need to use a different setup for items? And, you know, you got to find what works for you. Next up, you have the horror aspect of it. Now, obviously, it's horror themed, duh, since it's dealing with murdering people. It can be scary at times, and jump scares do happen. It just depends on the killers, because if you're facing somebody like the Wraith or Ghostface, Michael Myers, Ones like that, those typically are the more scary ones just because they can be a lot more sneaky, especially Ghostface and Michael Myers, because they can just be completely quiet, no terror radius, and then just out of nowhere they just pop up right behind you and scare you. Now, I'm a huge horror, well, maybe not huge, but I am a horror fan, so I think that's one of the other reasons I've clinged on to this game, is because of all the horror aspects. It's just, for kids basically. Well, I mean, they're not kids, but, 4 people trying to evade a killer and try not to get sacrificed. Sounds fun, doesn't it? The last main point on why I love Dead by Daylight is the premise. It is a fun, one-of-a-kind premise. It has literally no competition, at least that I can think of. I'm sure there's somewhat similar games out there, but not really close. And I know that's why some people have wanted to boycott the game because of all the people spending their money on it, and there's no rivals to this game, so it's easier for these companies to get away with it. But it's whatever. I really don't spend that much money on this game anyway, so that doesn't really apply to me. And of course, 4 survivors that have to evade a killer, complete 5 generators, and escape. That's my scenario, because I always play as survivor. Well, not always, but 99% of the time I play as survivor. And if you're the killer pleases the entity by sacrificing the survivors. And the point of the game is don't be dead by daylight. So just gotta survive, man. That's all you gotta do. I just find it to be such a very fun premise, and that's why I love playing the game so much. Fortunately, in my case, it was a free-to-play game on PlayStation Plus. So I just got to thinking, oh, sure, I'll check this game out. One of the best things I've ever done, because I just love this game so much. So in conclusion, the 6 main reasons I love this game, I mean, I'm sure there's other ones too, but I just try to get it to 6 main ones, are the survival aspect, strategy, pop culture, competitive, horror, and the premise. Those are the 6 main reasons why I love this game. Survival, I just love survival-based games. Strategy, I'm a huge strategy person, has all the pop culture elements to it. I'm a competitive person, and it can get very competitive at times. It's horror-themed. I am a fan of horror, and just the premise of it is very unique and fun. It's just, at this time, since I'm on, I guess you could say, last gen on the PS4, my only complaint is that I really do hope they fix the lag. I do think it's gotten a little bit better, but it still is laggy at times. Hopefully they fix that, but I don't know if they're going to. Okay, guys and gals, and that is why I love Dead by Daylight. And do you agree or disagree with any of the points listed previously? And do you love Dead by Daylight or not? In my case, obviously I do. It's not perfect. I know the devs have had problems here and there. As long as they fix the thing for the past gens where it's lagging quite a bit, then that'll make me happy again. But other than that, I don't have too many complaints other than the lag. And yeah, that is why I love Dead by Daylight. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And of course, as always, I'd love to see you all next time.